No Fonky, no Fonky, no Fonky! Oh, Fonky! Learning anything with a game makes it so much more fun and engaging, and today I have a game that you can use with your students to review almost any skill. But first, if you're new here, I'm Brenda Tejeda, and I've taught for 17 years, mostly in kindergarten and first grade, and I love to share my literacy tips with you, so make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss my videos. I'm also a huge fan of any kind of game or puzzle, especially if it has anything to do with words. My favorite game show was Wheel of Fortune. Let me know in your comments if you're a fan of game shows and which one is your favorite. I always secretly wanted to go on Wheel of Fortune, and hopefully one day I will get to go, but you can turn those game shows or any of your favorite games into games that you can use in the classroom with your students. And this game is inspired by a show that I used to watch when I was a little kid called Press Your Luck. If you remember that, the contestants answered questions and then they got to ring a buzzer and the screen would light up on different cash prizes or other fun prizes, but then there was a whammy like hidden. Little whammies were like creatures, like little monsters, and if you landed on one of those, you would lose all your money. So nobody wanted to land on a whammy, and they would say, no whammy, no whammy, no. So this is a little twist on that game, and you can call them Fonkies. I found this adorable clip art on TPT, so they're called Fonkies, and you can hide it behind one of the cards and call your students to read the card or solve the math problem on the card. You can kind of use it for any concept. If you want to reinforce shapes, you can put shapes on cards or color words. Here I have my pocket chart phonics sort cards, and students would say the name of the picture and then they would spell out the CVC word here. So hide it behind one of the cards and call on your students. If they find the Fonky, if they land on the Fonky, then they lose their card. If it doesn't have a Fonky behind it, then they get a point or they get to keep their card. Such an easy and fun game, and the beauty of it is you can play over and over and over to reinforce lots of different concepts. I do have 3 tips for you to use. First of all, you can use this whole group or in your small group. If you're using whole groups, you might want to split up your class into 2 teams and have each team collect the cards as they miss the Fonky. And the first team that gets the Fonky, then you can count the cards to see which team has the most cards, and that team is the winner. If you have a table-sized pocket chart, then you can just copy your cards or make your cards smaller. I was able to print these 2 slides to a page, so get all 12 cards onto one sheet, and you can practice in your small group as well. Tip number 2, to add a math component, add some dice. Everything's more fun with dice. So you can have a magic number like 6, let's say. Give a student 2 dice, and when they roll, if the numbers add up to a 6, then they get a turn on the board. So you can have students sit in a circle and take turns rolling the dice, and whenever somebody gets a 6, they can come up and try a card. And tip number 3, we know how much kids love to wait their turns, right? No. So while students are coming up and having a turn, to keep the rest of the class engaged, you can pair them up and have them talk to a partner about the answer. So if somebody's coming up here and they're trying to figure out the math problem or figuring out the spelling, you can ask the rest of the class to whisper to each other what they think the answer is, and then when the person whose turn it is done and says their answer, they can put their thumb up to check their work, or if they think they made a mistake, they can raise their hand to help them out. I hope this video was helpful to you. It's a simple idea, but I hope that it brings lots of fun to your classroom. Let me know in the comments if you're going to try it out. If you like this idea, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon.